It's actually interesting because now with these analytics and these next gen stats you're seeing in the NFL, a lot of these interior guys are definitely valued a lot more, and they're being drafted earlier as a result. Where you didn't really see that, you always saw the out edge rushers, the defensive ends drafted early, except for that one draft in 2010 with Ndamukong Suh and Gerald McCoy, who went back to back
Yeah.
3. That was really all the time you saw all that. Even guys that were supposed to be top 5 prospects would fall to the middle of the first round because of that. And now the trend started to revert back because of the analytics. Do you think you can get it where that could be a consistent trend going forward for these defensive tackles because of the analytics and these next gen stats?
I actually think it's going to be constant. With I say from class 2019 all the way to around 2023, those going to be the classes that got a bunch of defensive players. Period. That's going to get like gone first. Like it's a lot of defensive tackles, and it's never been like this before. You have almost every defensive tackle there good. So I mean, it's gonna be a cut just like our team on Vanderbilt. You're gonna see me and Marcus go in a couple of years. It's gonna be crazy. Like it's just I think it's the era of defensive lineman now.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, the defensive tackle position has been an important prospect. You watch the best team to watch as far as the NFL where defensive linemen is, and I will say this over and over, the Kansas City Chiefs. They have been known to put a lot of beefy guys in the middle of their defensive line. That's what they've done. And they find freaks like Chris Jones that you could put him on the outside. He's like 6'6", and he's like 300 pounds. He can run. He can run like a cheetah, and he's so big and he's so strong. He could toss a whole offensive line around. So I think you're absolutely right. I think the defensive tackle position has been a big force when it comes to the NFL, and some of these NFL coaches are starting to provide. You can put more pressure down the middle than on the outside now, and I think it's very, very unique, especially in a 4-3 defense. So when you look at the positioning of where college football is going, and I've asked a lot of recruits this, and I didn't ask you last time, and I love you and Marcus, and like I said, when you guys go into the NFL, Marcus already told me I'm going to be invited to his party. He's going to hoist me. He's going to put a ball around my waist, and he told me that you are going to be the champion. I am going to give you, whoever drafts me, the hat to put on your head. No, he didn't say that, but I'm just trying to say that me and Marcus.
Except if it was the Patriots.
Yes. Do you believe? No, if you're a Patriot, man. If you're a Patriot, I'm going to hate you. I'm going to hate you. I really hope that you are wind up somewhere else because you and Mr. Marcus Bradley, and he told me he wouldn't mind going playing for Bill Belichick. As soon as he said that, I said, Marcus, I told you I loved you. Now you're starting to make me hate you. And he says, all right, I won't go to the Patriots, but if they draft me, I'm going there. Anyways, do you believe college players should get paid?
I mean, I do. I mean, that's 4 to 5 years. You taking beatings on the body. It's a toll on the body. You actually plan for them. It's like, yeah, you getting a degree, but you still need some type of living expenses because most of your time is revolved around football. Most people won't think we need to get paid because everything's already paid for. But I mean, we're not saying pay us like we in the NFL, but at least give us something like some type of income because our life revolves around football and studying all the time. There's not that much things we can't do outside of that.
But I will say this. You say you get a college education. After 2 years, you're probably going into the NFL draft. And I've talked to a lot of college or ex-NFL players that said after 2 years, they went right into the NFL draft. The colleges don't give you the degree. They don't. If you don't finish your college education, you don't get the degree. If you want to go back, now obviously Shaquille O'Neal, when he wanted to go back to LSU, I think it was LSU, they actually let him go back and get his degree. But he's Shaquille O'Neal.
Larry Fitzgerald recently.
Larry Fitzgerald too. But no, Larry Fitzgerald didn't go back. He did it online.
Oh, he did it online.
He did it online.
Okay.
He did it online to get his communications degree. And he's talked about that. The Arizona, whatever that stupid Arizona, whatever it is. Larry Fitzgerald. I love Larry Fitzgerald, by the way. But a lot of people, and I've said this to a lot of athletes and a lot of recruits and even ex-athletes. Why is it that these schools are making between $13 and $15 million for one ball game, and it goes to the school? None of the players get it, and These are the players that are putting their bodies on the line. The coaches are making $8 to $7 million a year. I mean, you got Jim Harbaugh making $9 million a year, and they can't even get into the Final Four. They can't even get into the championship rounds. This guy's making $9 million a year, and he has the best recruiting class, and they can't get over the hump. So I don't understand it. Why is it that the players who are not really getting a full college education because they're going right into the NFL because they want to help their families? Obviously, you got to go play 2 years of college ball to even go into the NFL draft. And a lot of these players, they come from struggling families that are struggling keeping their houses open, or finding jobs, or paying their kids' private school tuitions. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Could you look at the way the game has changed with the college football and understand that the players union should reach out to the NCAA and fight this? Because we talked to a tennis player recently, and because what happened, Speedy?
It was a phone, some type of phone that was supposed to be only for on-campus living, that because she had to live off campus with several other of her teammates, the NCAA declared that like a payment, like something that's a benefit.
$250.
Right. Something that was a benefit. So they took away the tennis, all the A10 championships they won, all the tournament wins, stuff like that, all her individual wins, and they took it away. So since then, when she graduated in 2017, she's been petitioning against the NCAA.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, I think they should help, though. Like, they got to take in consideration. They got to. I mean, they don't have to if they don't think so. But, I mean, any player will tell you they think they should get paid. Like, you got countless hours of practice. Like, you can't even count. You got wake up for lifts and stuff like that. Like, it's actually a lot. Like, you only have you have time, but you don't really have time like that, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's always around their program. Like, so you get a scholarship to play that sport. That's a sport you're going to play. And if you're not abide by those rules, they could take you off scholarship and you'll be done like that. So it's basically like you got to do what they tell you to do. You got to make this practice. You got to make this workout.
You know what's funny, Terion? I have people saying don't make him answer the question. And I'm not making him do anything, by the way, Carl. All right, I'm not making him do anything, and it's not hurting his status or where he's going to go in the draft or where he's going to Vanderbilt. All I'm asking him is that these kids are going into college. They don't have a lot of money. Some of these kids are having problems feeding themselves, and stuff like that, all because they're getting a full scholarship to go and play for a school that practically recruited him and told him, "We want you to come to the school. We're going to help you give you a scholarship to get an education, and we're going to help you become more of a man, and then eventually, because you're going to the SEC or you're going to a big time school, Division I, we're going to help you get into the NFL." And what do they get out of it? They get just somebody saying, "We're going to give you a scholarship. We're going to give you a full scholarship." And then 2 years later, you're going into the draft. You're still not getting your education, and you got to move forward. And all the 2 years that you dominated for that school and helped them win ball games or help them win 7 or 8 games where they're making millions and millions of dollars off of your talent, you'll get nothing out of it. And I think it's wrong. I think it's completely wrong what the NCAA does to you guys, because you guys are kids and your careers could be over with a blink of an eye.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not throwing him under the bus, guys. He's not hurting his draft stock. So I'm helping him out here. I'm trying to help here. Anyways, sorry.
Two-part question here for you, Terion. So one, in this kind of shortened season, we've seen a lot of players drop out, and we've also seen them prepare for the NFL draft. We were talking to a guy who does a Jets show on YouTube before that. A lot of good running backs, Chuba Hubbard, Kylan Hill, guys like that dropped out. So do you think that kind of shortened season will affect the way that they declare for the drafts with the extra eligibility? And two, with you potentially entering a shortened season, what do you think what kind of effect do you think that'll have maybe on the scheduling, maybe playing in all SEC again, and also on maybe the college football playoff too?
Actually, I don't think that's a problem. You know, most of them opted out because, I mean, the draft is around the corner. They're not trying to get COVID, and then they actually do got to start preparing their body for the draft. You know, if you still play the season, it's already delayed, so it's going past time. It's supposed to go past. They're not going to have that much time to develop. So basically, I think it's the best. It's best for them because why would you go out there? Say if you play a game this upcoming Saturday and you was to tear your ACL, nothing you can do. So they making sure they're good by opting out and just going to work out. I mean, I'm not saying you can't get hurt working out, but they'd rather take their chances working out than actually having contact probably weeks or months before the draft.
Jalen Smith was a good recent example of that. Tore his ACL in a bowl game and
Yeah.
lost his first round pick, top 10 probably draft stock. I wanted him for the Giants in that draft before.
Well, thank God,
Yeah.
because he's been an absolute bust.
Yeah, but they got Eli Apple, the worst bust. So
Well, that's true too. I mean, Eli Apple went over there to New Orleans and helped them play pretty well in the playoffs, and he played pretty well his last year with the Giants, Eli Apple, and that's why his draft stock, his trade stock went up when they traded him to
the Saints.
To the Saints. And by the way, Jalen Smith, and I'm not taking shots. It's a remarkable story what happened to his knee. The guy had a career-ending injury. He comes back. He gets healthy. He goes to the Cowboys and he gets a huge contract after 3 years. I think it was a little too much. I think Jalen Smith is a good linebacker. I just think he's a little bit overrated. That's just what I think. Well, if I'm going to pay a linebacker a ton of money like he got, I think he got like 70 million, almost 70 million. If I'm going to pay somebody like that, I'm going to pay a guy like, give me a good time. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hold on. A Billy Wagner. Okay?
Bobby Wagner.
I'm sorry, a Bobby Wagner or
Lavonte David.
Somebody like that. Yeah. Khalil Mack. I mean, that's who I would be paying that kind of money to. I'm not overpaying it, but thank you to the Cowboys, the great Cowboys, the disturbing new, the great star of the world. What do they call it? America's team, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, I would say Pittsburgh's more of America's team now than the Dallas Cowboys
or Green Bay.
Yeah, but the Dallas Cowboys overpaid Amari Cooper, Jalen Smith, Lawrence, and now Dak Prescott's looking for 40 to 45 million. I would pay Dak Prescott over all these guys because he's a proven commodity after he got hurt. So before we let you go, Terion, okay, we're not going to ask you any silly questions because we're going to get you on the Vanderbilt season. I'm going to get you and Marcus on at the same time, and I am going to have we're going to have a trivia game with both of you. I'm going to set it up. And we're going to see how much you guys know about football and how much you know about each other. So be understanding where when we're ready to reach out to you, you better get some information on each other because the winner is going to get a gift from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. And I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it'll be something very, very funny and very, very cool. So stay tuned for that. Terion, tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
Actually, my Instagram name is Tank, but it's spelled T9NKK. And then Twitter, I actually just switched my username. It's Sack Guru Tank.
Sack Guru Tank. He's tanking, he's sacking, and he's picking. That's what he's doing. You know what I mean? Terion Sugick. And when they draft you, man, they just got to put me on the mic. I'll be your agent. You know what I mean? When I'll go up there instead of Roger Goodell because you don't want to look at his ugly mug. I mean, seriously, he's an ugly guy. A ginger, ugly guy. You have me go up there. I'll wear a nice suit, fitted suit, and I'll go up there. And the New York Jets at number 2 drafts defensive tackle out of Vanderbilt, Terion Sugick. And you think about that. I'll give you a hat. You take a picture with me. Definitely a better looking guy than Roger Goodell. So
and you won't get booed.
And you won't get. I won't get. Well, I don't know about that. I am pretty hated in some areas of the area codes of the world. So, anyways, Terion, thank you for joining us, bud. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. And I'm rooting for you guys. You and Marcus are my guys. I mean, I'll be your peanut butter to your peanut butter sandwich. Okay. You know what I mean? I'll be your agents, man. When you guys get drafted, you guys will pick me up. You can lift me up and I'll be around your arms. You know what I mean? 300-pound behemoths, that are the next big superstar defensive tackles in the NFL. That's what I'm talking about. Terion Sugick and Marcus Bradley. Terion, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Terion Terion Sugick, ladies and gentlemen.